Hey there, happy Tuesday. Can you believe, by the way, this is July? I was going to roll into my normal intro and I happened to glance at the calendar right before going live, and it is officially July. We are officially over the halfway mark of 2018, and we still have a full 6 months to make this our best year ever. And last month, I dedicated the entire month to a single theme, which was email marketing. And I heard from so many of you that you loved the theme. You loved that I was able to dive deeper on that topic. And so I am continuing with a theme of the month here in July. And I'm going to be focusing on content creation and content strategy. Now, if you are like many business owners, content creation are two scary words, but they don't have to be. The content creation and content strategy stress a lot of people out. You might be feeling overwhelmed. We're going to talk in a moment about why that might be so overwhelming for you, but I want to break that all down for you this month. July has 5 weeks in it, so over the next 5 weeks, I'm going to be breaking this apart and helping you make your content creation roar. Now, if you don't know me or don't know me well, my name is Carrie Price. I'm a brand messaging coach, helping ambitious service-based business owners find and own the words to stand out, be heard, and make your message roar. That means having a message that is relatable to your ideal client, one of a kind so you sound like nobody else, actionable, making your marketing and your content creation easier, and reliable, allowing you to show up as the expert that you are every single time. Now, if you are joining me live, please say hello so I can welcome you properly. If you're watching the replay, please let me know that too so I can come back and thank you for making the time. And if you have any questions about content creation or content strategy, there are a couple ways you can get that to me. Go ahead and drop those in the comments below. I may not answer them today, but I will queue them up for the appropriate topic as I break this down over the next 5 weeks. There's also a pinned post inside my free Facebook group, The Messaging Den. You can go to themessagingden.com and look for the pinned post. Ask me any questions that you have around content creation or content strategy, and I will make sure to get you an answer this month. Linda, hello. You just got here. Good morning to you too. Hey, Christine, so good to see you. Thank you guys for joining me live today. If you've got any questions as we go, drop those in the comments. Now, I need to take a sip of my tea, and then we are going to jump right in. Hey, Hope. Oh, this first time watching. Thank you so much for making the time to join me today. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, drop those in the comments. Now, the reason why I decided to devote the entire month of July to content creation is I hear this over and over again from people in my own group and other groups where I'm hanging out, inside paid programs and courses that I'm in. One of the biggest things that people struggle with is putting out content. Now, we all know that content is important because that's what we put out in our marketing, right? Marketing is the communication of your message. And we need that so that people know who we are, know who we serve, why they might be interested in working with us, and establishing us as an expert out there in our industry, right? But here's the thing. The reason why, if content creation feels like a struggle for you, the reasons why that might be is because you don't feel like you know what to say. You don't feel like you know how to talk about what you do, what your ideal client's going to care about reading. We're worried about getting good engagement. We want to make sure that what we're putting out there is serving a purpose, right? We don't want to put content out there for the sake of content. And so you are struggling because you don't know how to talk to your ideal client. You might not even be really clear yet on who your ideal client is, I'm going to start to break some of that down and demystify this whole notion of content creation here. But that's a really common reason why I see people struggling with creating content. Another reason why it sometimes will feel harder than it needs to be is you don't have a strategy in place around it. So you feel like you're always creating content or you're always winging it. Does that sound familiar? Like, let me know in the comments or give me a thumbs up or a heart if that sounds familiar to you. And if there's any other reason why you are struggling with content creation, drop those in the comments below too, because if there's a particular thing that feels hard for you about that, I want to tackle that for you this month. I want to help make your content creation easier because trust me, it totally can be. It can be fun. It can be easy. It can be on brand and on point every single time. And if you don't have that yet, I totally want to help you do that. Thank you for the thumbs up and the hearts. So content creation, as I mentioned earlier, it's totally mandatory. We have to be able to market ourselves. We have to get our message out there or nobody is going to know we exist and you'll be the best kept secret in your industry, right? You guys have heard this before. It is not a build it and they will come model, right? You can't say, hey, I'm in business and I know I'm brilliant at what I do. I know that the clients I help get major results and people are just going to find me and they're just going to come flocking to me. That's not how it works. You went into business because you're brilliant at what you do, but you also have to get effective at marketing. Now, you don't need to be a marketing pro. You don't need to be like marketing is not necessarily your business unless it is. But even if it is, it's harder to work on your own stuff, right? But you do have to be effective at marketing. And content is the thing that we put out there that markets us, right? Okay, Linda says she struggles with what to say. Some days I'm so inspired and other days I feel like I have nothing to say. Linda, totally a common problem and I'm going to be definitely tackling that. I'm going to address it a little bit today and then we're going to get into it in more detail throughout the month. Tanya says consistency is my problem. Hey, Tanya, so good to see you, by the way. Yeah, consistency is a problem for a lot of people. I'm definitely going to be diving into that this month. So here's the thing. Today's topic is about demystifying content creation because I think for a lot of people, the reason the idea of content creation feels so stressful and overwhelming is we have this like giant notion of what it means. And we've like worked it up into this big, overwhelming monster that we can't tackle. Totally able to break this down. But let me just share with you, one quick shift you can make in how you think about your content creation. And this is something I learned from Gary Vaynerchuk, commonly referred to as Gary V. And he talks about one of the biggest struggles that people have when creating content is that they're stuck on that word creating. And they feel like they're always having to like find things to make up to talk about. He suggests we instead focus on documenting. Now, this might feel like, oh, that's just a difference in word. Well, you guys know I'm all about words and the right words matter. And the shift that will make for you in your brain as you think about the kind of content that you put out there is huge. And I will tell you, I'm going to share with you a couple comments that some of my clients have made around this. Actually, two people, they've made a very similar comment recently. But when you fully embrace your entire messaging foundation, which is not just about the words you use, like there's like everything that you need to know to make your messaging really powerful so that your marketing is more effective, content creation actually becomes like a no-brainer. One of my clients recently said to me, she's like, dang it, Carrie, I can't look at anything in my life now without thinking of it in terms of content that I can put out there and like using my message, right, to deliver that. And I've done that. I do that multiple times inside my group. I'll say, hey, give me anything. Give me a word, an object, a phrase, an activity. I will be able to give you valuable messaging related content, because my area of expertise is messaging, right? On anything. I've written content where the trigger's been laughter. Linda gave me that one. On silly putty. I only shared this to my clients and I won't tell you guys the whole story, but my husband challenged me to create messaging related content with serial killer as a topic. And I did it, by the way. My cat, like everything around me becomes content. That now it's important that you're putting out content that establishes you as an expert, right? And I talk a lot about that. It's about being reliable, consistent. Every single time you show up, you're talking about your area of expertise. But that doesn't mean that you can't use anything that's happening in your life as a catalyst to do that, right? Jill, on the invite for this live today inside my Facebook group, one of my clients, Jill, commented and said that content creation used to be so hard for her, but now she's recently completed my Messaging Mastery, the foundation program. Now content creation is easy and fun. It really can be. And it comes from that same concept that Gary Vaynerchuk talks about. It's not about necessarily content creation. It's about documenting the things that are around you, your observations through the lens of your message, through the lens of your area of expertise. Hey, Nikki, so good to see you. Linda, documenting. Yeah, Linda, you're going to find as you work through the program, because I know you're just getting started, when you come out the other end of Messaging Mastery, the foundation, you will see the whole world through your message. And you will be able to share anything that's happening in your life through your message, establishing you as an expert in your field. Tanya, no problem. Have a good rest of your day. So what happens, the reason content creation is probably feeling hard for you right now is you don't have a strategy and maybe you're not yet fully clear on your own messaging foundation. We're going to get into content strategy ideas next week. I'm going to spend the whole Facebook Live next week on content strategy and different ways to think about documenting or organizing or being inspired to create content, right? But if the part that you feel like is a struggle is because you don't know what to say, you don't have the words to use that don't sound like everybody else, like everyone's saying the same thing. And I don't mean to pick on health coaches, but I see this a lot with health coaches. You're talking all about the same thing. And so the content you're putting out there is absolutely relevant to what you do and who you serve, but you sound like everyone else. So nothing you put out there helps you be memorable, right? The goal of your marketing is to shape and control your brand. Your brand is your reputation as it's perceived in the mind of the market. So that's the goal of everything. It's what do you want people to know about you? What do you want to be remembered for? Your marketing shapes that. And marketing is the delivery and the communication of your message. Content is marketing. That's all it is. So let's take away this scary, overwhelming thought of content creation of it being something that you have to do. It should be a natural extension of you just sharing your message and putting information out there so that people can find you, reaching out to your ideal client. Now, that means putting content out there that attracts them to you. And people who aren't your ideal client will just move along. And that's exactly what we want, right? So content all month long is what I'm talking about. If you, Linda says, can't wait. Yeah, Linda, it's coming for you. I promise. If you don't believe me, ask Angie, ask Jill, ask Sierra inside the program, who've all said, Sierra has finished the program, last fall. And she says she never used to be a good writer. She didn't think she was a good writer. And now content flows so easily for her. I follow her on social media, her blog posts, everything is so on point, so on brand. And she says she's able to whip this stuff out so much faster and easier now. This is coming for you, Linda, as you work through the program. Okay. Lisa, hi. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, no worries. The replay will be up here in a minute. You'll be able to watch the replay because I'm just about to wrap this up. But what I wanted to say is if what you feel like the biggest struggle for you in content creation is because you don't have the right words, like you don't know how to talk about what you do, that's going to help you not sound like everybody else and that's going to attract your ideal client, then that's something you want to look at fixing. That's what I do. Now, I want to give you some information that's going to help you just start to make progress on that right away. And so I actually have a free masterclass. I'm going to bring the URL up for you. It's on demand. You can get instant access to it. Go to carrieprice.com/masterclass. I break down for you the exact 4-part framework to make your message roar that I teach all my clients inside my program. But I'm going to break it down for you in a way that it'll help you understand why it gives you a competitive advantage in the market and an actionable tip that you can start applying in your business for yourself right away. So if that's something you're struggling with, go check out the free masterclass, but then come back every Tuesday this month, 11 a.m. Eastern, right here on my business page. And I'm going to continue to break down content creation and content strategy for you all month long. Now, if you have any questions, let me just remind you where to get those to me so I make sure that I tackle that in one of the upcoming trainings that I've got for you. You can post it right here in the comments below. There's also a pinned post inside my free Facebook group, The Messaging Den. Just go to themessagingden.com or search for The Messaging Den right here on Facebook and look for the pinned post. And those are probably the 2 best ways to send your questions to me. If you want to send it anonymously, feel free to message me right here on my Facebook business page and send that to me via Messenger. And I will get your questions added to the content that I've already got planned, or add it, weave it in if I don't already have that topic covered. I want at the end of July for you to feel more confident about putting content out there that attracts your ideal client, gets the engagement that you're looking for, establishes you as an expert that people know, like, and trust. And that's exactly what you're trying to do in your marketing, right? People need to know you exist. They need to like you, be drawn to you, know what you stand for, know how you can serve them. Ultimately, they'll start to trust you, and that will make them, when they're ready to fix whatever problem is you solve for people, make them, when they're ready to buy, that they will choose from you. That's what I want for you. I don't want you to blend in and sound like everybody else. I don't want you to be the best kept secret on the market. Okay. Let's make your message roar. Hey, Chris, I'm so glad this was useful. Thank you for joining me live today. I'm going to wrap it up. Next week, though, we're talking about creating a content strategy. Remember, at the top of this live, I said that's probably one of the reasons why content creation feels hard for you, or maybe where you struggle. You feel like you're winging it and you're always sort of in content creation mode. We're going to talk about creating a content strategy next week that'll help alleviate some of that and get it. So, like, let's just knock away all the stuff that makes content creation overwhelming. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Hope, for the thumbs up. I'm so glad this was helpful. In the meantime, don't settle for sounding like everybody else. Make sure you stand out. You get heard. Make your message roar. If you're in the US, have a safe and happy 4th of July tomorrow, and I will see you guys next week. Until then, have a great one. Bye.